Hello guys, this is the Creators Lodge and you are welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time coming across my YouTube channel, please do well to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and also turn on the notification button so that when next I drop an insightful video like this, YouTube will notify you. This is the Creators Lodge. Alright, so in today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys how to create a simple but professional online wedding ivy. All right, so I've been getting a lot of messages from some people that when are you going to do a tutorial on how to design a wedding ivy in Pixellab application. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do an online wedding ivy. All right, now an online wedding ivy is quite different from the kind of invitation cards you print out there and you give to people. All right, now the difference is that an online wedding ivy usually contains just little details. All right, but the ones you send out, the ones you take out there, and one major thing you need to know about online wedding ivy is that it's basically for awareness. All right, just to pop up the make people aware of something that is about to happen, or a wedding that is going to take place. All right, so but if you want to get full details of the wedding event and all that, then usually you can find details like that in the printed ivy. Now sometimes some wedding ivy, all right, contains the full information, but in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you guys how to design a simple wedding ivy, online wedding ivy like this. All right, so without any further ado, let's get into the tutorial. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to be picking any background from the gallery. I already have the picture I want to use. All right, I'm just going to be making use of the picture. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to go to this fourth icon. All right, now the first icon is for project and to create your workspace. The second icon is for text. The third icon is for your shapes, but I'm going to be clicking on the fourth icon and I'm going to choose from gallery. All right, I'm not going to click on this add button as we usually do, this add icon at the top. I'm just going to make the background of my workspace. I'm going to pick the background directly from my gallery. I'm going to make the picture my background. All right, so that's what I want to do, and I don't need to change the size. It's the default size of the Pixellab, which is the perfect square shape. All right, so I'm going to click from gallery. Now this is the image we are using for this tutorial, and immediately I pick the image, I'm just going to change the ratio to 1:1. Now quick one guys, before we go on, I'm not going to be sharing the resource file of this tutorial. All right, so you just need to watch this video, get understanding of what I'm doing, and be able to create something from what you'll be learning in this video. Okay, so I'm just going to change the ratio to 1:1, and I'm going to move it up a little bit, because if I leave it like this, the lady's head is going to her head is going to be too close to the top of my design. So I'm going to move this up a little so that I can have kind of space at the top. Yeah, so I'm just going to mark this. Now you can see that my background has automatically changed, so I don't need to import backgrounds from gallery and all that. For the sake of this tutorial, this is what I want to do. Now you can decide to import, you can decide that I want to do an online wedding ivy. I'll just import my background, and another thing is I'll just remove the backgrounds of the images. All right, and make use of background from outside. It's fine, but for me, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to be using, because I love the background of the picture, so I don't want to do any much work. I'm just going to be imputing the picture directly as my background. Now the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to create shape. I'm going to click shape. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on gradient. If you are conversant with my previous tutorials, you will understand what I'm doing right now. I'm going to create a gradient, and I'm going to choose black and transparent. The top of my square shape is going to be black, while the bottom is going to be transparent. All right, if you want to know how to do this, please, I'll recommend you watch my previous tutorials. So I'm going to mark this, then I'm going to go to texture. I want to add a texture inside of this black background. Now someone else can say that I don't need texture. I just want to make it, the blending black like this. I don't want texture. It's fine, but for me, I prefer to use texture. Okay, so I'm just going to click on texture, and I'm going to pick the texture from my gallery. So this is the texture I'll be using. I'm going to make the ratio 1:1. Remember, the square shape, it's a square shape. We want to insert this texture in. So if I insert this texture like this inside of the square shape, it's going to have a disfigured shape. So I'm just going to make the ratio 1:1. I'm going to bring it down like this a bit, and I'm just going to mark this way. Now I have this. So what I'm going to do next is this. Now this color of my texture is not blending well with the background. You can see that my texture is having something like white, I don't know, I think this is like light green now, something like that. But the color of my background is having red, wine, brown, stuff like that. So I need to use my color filter to change this texture. But if I go to my color filter now and I start working on my color filter, it's not going to work. The reason why it's not going to work is because, remember, this is a square shape. We only added texture inside of this square shape. So whatever filter we are doing here is not going to reflect on this square shape. So in order for your filter to reflect, you want to change the filter of this shape. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this same shape again, and I'm going to reduce the size to the lowest. All right, so I'm just going to reduce my relative size to 1. Width and height is going to be 1. Now you can see it's very small that you can't even see it. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to merge the bigger texture and the smaller texture together. So I'm going to click my layer, I'm going to click here, I'm going to merge, and I'm going to click OK. All right, so now that I'm done merging this shape, any color filter I make use of will have effect on this texture. Now let's check color filter again. Now if you look at it, you're going to see that the color filter is changing. You can see it now. You can see that the color filter is having effect. So that's how you work on color filters when you add texture in a shape. So for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to make use of hue -180. I'm going to increase my saturation to about 84, and I'm going to reduce my brightness to about minus let's see, okay, let's make use of minus 40. Yeah, now the reason why I'm doing this is because if I don't reduce my brightness, it's too bright. All right, now this is what I'm trying to achieve. Now once you rotate this, I'm going to rotate this way, and I'm going to increase the size of this way. All right, I'm going to rotate this, I'm going to increase the size this way. Now you can see it's kind of light on my design. I don't want it to be light, I want it to have this dark feel. All right, so I'm just going to reduce the brightness. Now you can see as I'm reducing the brightness, that dark feel is coming up. So that's what I want to achieve. So I'm just going to make use of these settings, and I'm going to just bring it down here this way. Yeah, this way, and I'm just going to centralize it this way. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it again. But by this time around, I'm going to just go to color, click on color. All right, and I'm going to click on black, and I'm going to mark it. So I'm going to leave the black somewhere here. All right, somewhere here, let me see, yeah, somewhere here. Okay, I'm going to centralize the black. Now you can see we have black on our texture, on top of our texture. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this same texture we first made. All right, I'm going to copy it again. All right, and I'm going to bring it to the top of this black shape. Now the whole thing, what I'm trying to achieve is to make it look kind of have that black feel, but also have the red feel on it. Now can you see what we've achieved? Now if I make the black layer invisible, you can see that the texture is kind of light on the design. So that's the reason why I decided to create a black texture. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to lock these layers. Now I have this. What I'm just going to do is I'm going to copy this this texture again, but this time around I'm just going to kind of rotate it this way. Okay, I'm just going to rotate it this way. I want to place it somewhere here like this. Yeah, something like this. So I'm just going to rotate it like this. I'm going to increase the size, place it somewhere here. All right, so what we're trying to achieve is blending, just trying to blend everything together. Okay, so I'm just going to place this somewhere here, yeah, somewhere here, something like this. So now you see, awesome, we have this. It's amazing, looking amazing to me. So I'm just going to lock these layers. All right, now the next thing I want to achieve, now you can decide to create another black fill again if the black fill is not enough. All right, if it's not enough for you, yeah, this black fill. So I can decide to create another black fill, this black fill, and I can decide to leave the black fill like this. Now you can see, you can see the difference. This is before and this after. All right, I can decide to leave it like this again, but I want the red, the red stuffs to have visibility. So even after I've created this black fill, I can just decide to reduce the opacity of this particular black fill. All right, I can decide to reduce the opacity a bit and also send it to back. All right, I'm just going to bring it behind this way. Okay, let's increase it now. Okay, so I can increase it, but I'm going to take it behind the texture. Okay, so I'm just going to lock these layers. So I have this, let me see if I can bring this here closer. Yes, yeah, so I have this. Now the next thing is I'm going to write my text. I'm going to write Tolulope, and yeah, okay, I'm going to write Tolulope, and I'm just going to increase the size of this a little bit, and I'm going to change the font. All right, the font I used is Manstein, 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 Manstein. That's the font I'm clicking right now. All right, I'm going to drop the link in this video description, but I'm not going to be dropping the resource files, as I've said. Now I want to add a texture. Some people also have been asking me, sending me questions like, how do you add gold texture inside of a of a text or stuff like that? How do you just add texture in the text? Now this is a text. Don't color this text. Now once I click color, you're going to see that is on the default color, which is white, but don't color the text. Don't go to color and pick any color. If you want to make your text to have like maybe gold texture, silver texture, whatever kind of texture you want it to have, don't automatically color the text after you have clicked on new text. Now I'm going to go to my texture. I'm going to click texture. All right, I'm going to pick my texture from my gallery. This is the texture I used. I'm just going to reduce the size this way. I don't want to pick the texture with everything. All right, I want a specific part of this this background to just reflect on that image. If you are using Photoshop, it's called clipping marks. You're trying to create a clipping marks. If you are using CorelDRAW, it's called power clip. But in Pixellab application, you are adding a texture. So now you can see I've reduced the size to just this way, and I'm going to mark it. Now you can see that it's automatically reflecting on our design. If you look at it, it's looking somehow like something like gold. It has this gold feel. So that is how you add texture. All right, and this is a beautiful font. Now you need to know that when you are doing something wedding or stuff like that, remember I always talk about Montserrat. Use Montserrat, you will not go wrong. But now this is a wedding ivy. All right, so you need to use a calligraphy font. All right, you need to use a calligraphy font or a handwritten font. There's something called calligraphy font. All right, this is like a calligraphy font, and there's also handwritten font. So you don't use serif font or sans serif font. All right, for you can use it for the venue, for the stuffs and all that, but specifically for the names of the couples, it's highly recommended you use either handwritten fonts or calligraphy fonts, because those are stylish fonts, and they are stylish fonts and they make your wedding ivy look amazing. All right, so I'm going to copy this Tolulope, and I'm just going to write the second name. All right, so we have the second name here. We have Tolulope and we have Dio. So I'm going to copy Dio, and I'm just going to write and. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to bring this down here, but I don't want a texture for the and, so I'm going to delete the texture, and I'm just going to reduce the size of my and a little. Yeah, So I'm going to bring this down a little. I'm going to bring down dial a little also. I'm going to bring and down a little again. Yeah, something like this. So this is nice. All right, so this is nice. I'm just going to centralize this, make sure they're all centralized. Yeah, so I'm going to copy the and again, and I'm just going to write blissful union. Okay, so I'm going to write blissful union, but I want to change the font now. I'm going to change the font to Montserrat regular, and I'm going to just click OK. I'm going to reduce the size this way. I'm going to go to my spacing, increase my spacing to the highest, reduce the size again. All right, reduce the size, let's see, 21. Let me centralize this and just see. Now it's too close to the top, so I'm going to bring it down this way. Yeah, so this is better, this is nice. So I'm going to copy this and also again, and I'm going to write 05 space full stop space 11. Now it's not necessary. I'm also going to change the font to Montserrat. So every time when you want to write date, it's not compulsory. I used to say it in my tutorial that it's not every time you just write 5th of November, you just write the date in full. You need to be creative in what you are doing. Yeah, so I'm going to place this place like this. I'm just going to move it up a little. Now you can see that it's too close to dial. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the size of Telulope. Okay, I'm going to reduce to about 74. I'm going to reduce this size also this way. I'm going to reduce the and also. All right, so to about 46. Yeah, so I'm just going to place it this way. I'm going to move this up a little. All right, yeah, something like this. I'm going to centralize it. This 5th also, I'm going to move it up a little. Yeah, so let me just bring it down a little here. Okay, so the 5th 11 can stay here this way. All right, and you can decide if you don't want to use this method, you can decide to do this. All right, so you can decide to do this 05 11. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to add the ring. All right, I'm going to bring in the ring, so I'm going to click on add from gallery. All right, so this is the ring. I'm going to just mark this. Now some people sometimes you prefer to leave the ring here and just reduce the opacity, but for me I want to place it somewhere else. So first I want to reduce the brightness and increase the contrast. I want that sharp feel on my ring. All right, so that's the reason why I'm doing this. So I want the color to be sharp, so I'm just going to place it here this way. Okay, so after placing it here, I have this. The last thing I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to create a shape, and I'm going to click on gradient. I'm going to click on red and white gradient. I'm going to mark this. Now I'm going to go to texture and add the love icons. All right, so this is the love icon. I'm just going to do it this way and mark this. So I have the love icon here. Now what I can do, I'm going to rotate this way and increase this size this way like this. All right, I'm just going to increase this size this way a little bit. Yeah, so something like this, and I'm going to bring it down like this. So but I'm going to take it to back. I'm going to take it behind. I'm going to bring it behind the text so that it doesn't stay on the text. Let me lock the layers of this text and the other things. Yeah, so I have this now. So this is the love. Can you see the love icon? But if you notice, if I leave the love icon like this, it's going to have the face is on dial. Okay, so the love, one of the love is resting on the guy's face. So I'm just going to place it here like this. Yeah, I'm going to centralize it, and I don't want to leave it like this. All right, the contrast is going to have issue with the text, so I'm going to reduce the opacity a little bit like this. So let's say about 52. Yeah, so about 52 the opacity. So I have this, so let's leave it like this. Now I want to just bring this closer again. All right, these ones on the side. So yeah, I just want to bring these ones closer this way. Okay, yeah, so I have that. Yeah, so I'm going to lock this layer, and with this you are done in in the Pixellab application. All right, but before going to the REMINI application, I'm just going to save this into gallery. All right, so you're just going to save as ultra, save as project. All right, So just save into your gallery, and once we are done saving, we're going to enhance in the Remini application. Okay, all right, so let's go to Remini. Remini makes use of data, so I'll need to put on my data connection. So I'm going to pick the image from my gallery and I'm going to enhance and watch ads. So I'm going to skip here. Alright guys, so Remini is done enhancing this this design, but then if you look at the face, you will see that it's enhanced, but Remini has added too much light on this image. Alright, now let's go to the before. This is the before. See how cool it is. This is the after. See how bright it is. Alright, if the brightness of the guy's face is same as that of, if the brightness of the lady's face is same as that of the guy's face, it would have been better. But however, Remini made it such that the brightness on the lady's face is so much compared to that of the guy's face, which has disfigured our design. So we need to correct this. Now at the bottom of your application, you're going to see face retouch. So you are going to click face retouch. It will process. Then you're going to, now let's wait for it to, now it's done processing. You're going to see disabled, so click on disabled. So once you click on disabled, part of that light effect Remini added will be removed. So let's mark this. Now after marking this, you look again, you're going to see color at the bottom. Click on color. It's going to process. Now once it's processed, you disable the color again. All right, so what Remini did when enhancing your image was that it added color. So we're going to disable the color. Now can you see we have successfully retained the original image, the beauty. All right, you can see this is the before, too bright. This is the after. So we're going to mark this. I know I've not revealed this to you guys before, but this is an amazing feature in Remini application. So I'm just going to save this and you're going to watch adverts. All right, so I'm just going to skip here. All right guys, so this is before. All right, this is before we enhanced in Remini, and this is the after. All right, this is the after the enhancement in Remini. And all right, I'm just going to take us through the before. This is the before, this is the after, and this looks beautiful and amazing to me. All right, okay, thank you so much for watching today's tutorial. I would love to get feedbacks from you all. Please do well to comment on this video. If you find this helpful, do well to comment, and I believe that you are going to make use of this to create amazing designs. All right, sorry I won't be dropping the link to download the resource files, but I believe that through what I've done, you are going to be able to create something amazing. When you want to do a project for a client that requires you to do a wedding IV, you should be able to get inspiration from what I've done today and be able to replicate it for your clients. And I'm also going to be dropping the link for you guys to download the font I used for the names of the couples. Please don't forget, if you have not subscribed, do well to subscribe and turn on the notification button, and please like this video so that YouTube will recommend it to other creatives out there. All right guys, see you in my next tutorial.